Well, I'm just working on the Talbot Express. I've got the U25 or C25 diesel lump in, the 2.5, and I'm about to show you the error of my ways. I've actually made a mistake. This is the crankshaft, and there was a seal there. I've actually had to remove it because I fitted it incorrectly, and I didn't realise it at the time, because you look at it and you think, oh yeah, I might just be able to get a seal over that and put it in. But unfortunately you can't, you do get scuppered. So this is what's basically happened. We've got the damage there. That was done extracting it. But basically that was the damage. Obviously the spring and another piece of it are missing. But it basically nips up and catches on this lip, and you don't see it coming. And I'm not the first person doing this job to goose step into that error, but there is a workaround for it, and hopefully I'm going to show you and all will go well. The workaround involves the use of some thin plastic. So I've just cut a section of this off, and we're going to slip that over the crankshaft sprocket now, and then insert a seal over it. Now it looks like you could remove that perhaps with a puller. I did see a picture of one with the spot wells touched in and straightened out, so I didn't fancy chancing that. I would rather work round it than risk damaging it on removal as a replacement. Probably ain't going to happen cheaply, if at all. So what we're going to need is a nice straight edge. Fortunately this milk bottle had a printed line on it, so I just used that as a guide, and I think I've got it reasonably straight. So it's absolutely essential that the plastic goes right deep in to the back, because what we're going to do is fit the seal over it and then withdraw it later. And I've got a zip tie holding things in place. I'm actually going to apply some rubber grease to these areas here, and definitely that lip there, and I want it thoroughly greased up, basically from the point of the zip tie down. What I've actually done, just for a little helping hand, is I've frozen the seal with a bit of oil in a plastic bag just to lubricate it, the theory being that it could constrict it. I did some similar bushings and they constricted by 0.5 mil, and they were at least half the circumference. 0.5 mil in diameter, that is. Well, that's one cold oily mess. That corresponds with the marking there. So we're now in, and we just need something to give it a thump with. I'm going to try using the old seal. Well, I only got so far using the old seal. Basically one end were popping out, things like that. What actually did it, believe it or not, firstly I used a roll of tape. That got me a little bit further. Secondly, I used this. Now I couldn't hit this on its own, but I do have, and this is out of my push-pull bush replacement set. There is a problem with it, in the sense that it's too deep. You can see there's a gap there, but using that in coordination with the tape and the plastic innard, that's a spool, we've managed to drive this seal all the way home, and it feels really solid. Now I'll see if I can demonstrate that. So I'll put the innard on, and part of that, you can more or less check its alignment if you put a straight edge on it. Also, if I were to hit it with a hammer, I actually did quite well. See, working room's restrictive, using a pretty hefty hammer and just hitting it with a shaft like so. Obviously I held everything solid, and that's what I can't do whilst filming it, but that's how I've done it. So all we have to do now is rebuild everything I've took apart to do this. I do have a video on replacing the timing belt for this vehicle, but I thought this would be a nice little add-on, as not everybody's going to need to do it when replacing the belt. Many thanks for watching, and why not subscribe to learn of more repair solutions. Oh, I just realised I've forgotten to withdraw the plastic. I'm going to check that all of this has came out. And yep, it's a nice neat edge.